has to be changes. West Ham gave unbeaten Leverkusen a scare, but eventually conceded a late equaliser, deflected goal, I think it was from Jeremy Frimpong, to lose 3-1 on aggregate ends. 3 years in Europe with the Hammers have reached the Europa League semi-finals, won the Conference League and then reached the quarters of the Europa. And David Moyes said it's been a fabulous, fabulous period for the club.
I think it's been much better the way we've been as a football club. 3 years in Europe's been fabulous. 3 quarter-finals, we've won two out of the 3 quarter-finals. Tonight we came narrowly close to doing it. I think the supporters here have been treated to big nights, whether it be Alkmaar, Seville, whoever we played in the semi-finals of Europe. Tonight it was Leverkusen, who are obviously a Champions League team and play that way and are going to be that next year. So I've got to say, I think that we've had 3 fabulous years, and I'm hoping that there's still a chance that we could make it 4.
OK, this has been the first time in West Ham's history, Andy, that they've gone 3 consecutive seasons in Europe, and to be fair, they've gone pretty deep in all of them. It's the age-old question. I mean, Davey seems to be completely split with the West Ham fans at this moment in time. I had a quick look at the league position there, where they sit in the 8th. And the teams that are...
That's what they are.
That's what I think, mate.
West Ham aren't better than 8th.
Is this one of these cases where you got to be careful what you wish for?
Well, yes, you're absolutely right, you do. And look, I understand that changing football can bring about a bit of a lift, and it can give people and supporters perhaps something else to look forward to and to go and understand and go and watch. Moyes has done, I think, everything that's asked of him. Now, the one thing that keeps coming back is the type of football, the way they play. Well, David's not going to change that. David can't change that. He is what he is. He's adapted and he's moved on as best he can with younger footballers nowadays that are very different from the ones he was coaching many, many years ago. He ain't going to change significantly, though. He's not going to change that much. But you're playing European football every year. You're in the top 10 of the Premier League, where not everybody's got the divine. Look at Chelsea. I mean, I know they've just nudged up in there now, but they've been in the bottom half for most of the season.
100%.
Right?
Yeah.
You know, and I think that the West Ham fans will probably get their change this summer. I think David will go, I'm done.
Yeah.
And I think
I'm done here.
Personally,
I'm done here, or I'm done.
No, I think he's done there.
Yeah.
I think he's done there. And David loves football, and he loves being involved in football. And he's good at it. So I'm sure there'll be other opportunities if he wants them for him. But I think it's the right time. Personally, for me now, I think it's the right time for David to go, do you know what, let someone else have a go. Thank you very much, and I'm off.
Well, let's have a chat with a man who was at the game last night, obviously a big West Ham man and knows the club as well as MD, and that would be the Moose. Ian, how are you this morning?
I'm all right, boys. How are you?
We're well, mate. We're well. I mean, a bit of a at best bang average 2 or 3 days for the English clubs in Europe. However, we want to talk about West Ham, mate. It was a big ask for them against a Leverkusen side who picked up the Bundesliga title at the weekend and obviously remain undefeated. Moose, what did you think of the game initially, and what do you think of the situation with Big Moyes?
Regarding the game, I thought West Ham were good. I mean, I thought that for an hour they were probably as good as I've seen them play for a long time, and it reminded me of a lot last year, actually, or actually 2 years ago when they played Lyon, and they went to Lyon and won 4-1 and really gave it a go. And I thought, they took the lead, and Jared Bowen had a really good opportunity that was saved on the line by the goalkeeper. If that goes in for 2-0, I think the place starts really rocking, and anything is possible. Yeah. But you just highlighted there, this is a team that have just won the German title. Nobody in any competition this season has beaten them. And West Ham came within a couple of minutes last night of doing that. And, all right, that wouldn't have been enough to actually go through in the tie, but at least that would have been, that would have been a real feather in the cap. But I have to agree with everything Andy said. I think that, rightly or wrongly, and I think it's wrongly, the West Ham fans are going to get what they want this summer, and that is a managerial change. With that, I think there'll be players who leave as well. And, it could be a big upheaval at the club in the summer. And then you're back to where you started when David Moyes last left the club, when Manuel Pellegrini came in. It was a complete disaster. And West Ham had to go back to David Moyes to come and rescue him again. That will not happen and can't happen another time because I don't think David Moyes will come back another time. But, that I think will happen in the summer.
Yeah, and I think you're right, Moose, when you say about players leaving. I mean, obviously there's lots to talk about Paquetá. Who else do you think might be out the door?
I think that long-term servants like Aaron Croswell and Bonner will leave. I think probably Naya Viged, the defender they signed a couple of years ago, centre-half, I think he'll leave. I certainly think Paquetá will leave. I would be amazed if some of the bigger clubs in inverted commas don't try and sign Mohamed Kudus. I know he's only been at West Ham for a season, but he has been absolutely outstanding. And I think if he made a big enough bid, that would test West Ham's resolve. And if Jared Bowen is to leave the club, I'm not saying he will. It's big if. This is the summer he has to go because A, he'll be going to the Euros with England, which puts him back in the shop window, and B, I think he's at the age now where he either or he stays in terms of this is his last chance for a big move. And, Mikel Antonio, who did well last night, again, until, he got tired after about an hour, I would be surprised if he didn't go. I mean, there's been talk of him leaving over the last couple of transfer windows. I think it could be a real overhaul of the squad in the summer. I know that there are some names that have been linked with the West Ham job. I mean, this week it was Thomas Tuchel, I think was the latest one. Well, the director of football is going to have to work hard to get in a good manager who will then have to know what sort of players that he wants or work with the players that he's given. But I do think West Ham, and last night showed, I think, as well, you both saw, they started well, but there wasn't anything experience-wise to bring off the bench. There was nobody, explosive they could bring on after an hour to test it, bring on tiring defence. Yes, there were some really good young players, but David Moyes wasn't going to bring those on. And in the end, it was Maxwell Cornet who came on. I'd actually forgotten Maxwell Cornet was still at the club, to be perfectly honest with you. He's been seen that irregularly, and he came on with 6 minutes to go, which was too late.
Moose, thanks a lot for your time, pal. We'll speak to you soon. Hopefully see you soon. Thanks for that. West Ham fans, send us a voice note this morning. 03717 223344. Is it the right time for Moyes to go? And if he does go, how will he be remembered?
On AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.